Hey, Lance, good morning. Yeah, I think we got her rolling now. Hey, Brenda, how's it going? A little bit later again today. It started, I had so many things to do, get Mia fed and then let her out. I think she wants to go out again. Um, so anyway, here's what it is. Skyfly, good morning. I hope, Joel, you're doing okay. Everything's going good with you. So what are you up to today, Lance? Just kind of hanging? Joel, I understand as we get older, we all start to move a little slower. Got little things. I've got a load of laundry going right now, and when that gets done, I'll get it in the dryer and get that part done. I don't know, Brenda, you said it was really cold yesterday. You were out golfing and it was cold. Just didn't know if I misunderstood that or not, but kind of what I thought you said in the chat yesterday.
What's up, Paul?
Hey, Justin, how you doing?
Yeah. Just what's up, Brenda, Joel, Lance?
How's Fortnite been going?
Well, it's been going good.
I went
I'm
over there
just,
and saw you had a bunch of players yesterday, and
oh yeah, we've been averaging like 8 or 10 people a night now.
yeah, it's like they come in and they go, right? They stay a while, and
Yeah, people cycle in and out. Some people are from the TikTok chats too, so
oh, okay.
they come in and play and then they'll leave. But what's up, Laura?
Laura, Laura, Laura.
No, that's been keeping my mind off shit because my dad called me the other day and he's in fucking kidney failure, so ain't talked to me in almost 10 years.
Oh, he's
And
going through kidney failure.
yep, called me out of nowhere and was like, because he was having kidney issues like almost a year ago. It's been over a little over a year that's been going on. So I heard, I don't know, Laura. I have no idea what happened yesterday. I was about, know about as much as you. But I'll talk to you later about that, I guess. Oh, you're talking about when my internet went out. I thought you were talking about something else. But anyway, um, yeah, it's been going on for a little over a year, and I tried to get a hold of my dad like 8 months ago to find out, what do you need? Do you need help? What? No response. And then my stepdad calls me the other day and tells me, he goes, yeah, they were trying to get me to call and ask you, but um, if you wanted to donate a kidney, but I told them they had to call you themselves because I'm not doing that. And so he ended up calling me on the phone. So I told him, I said, I don't mind donating. I said, because I'm not a fucking asshole. I
Yeah.
said, and I didn't bring up anything negative. I tried to keep the conversation as positive as possible because he sounded like absolute shit. And I felt bad for him. So,
Well, that was nice of you, because there's not enough people that do that kind of thing.
I said, and I to this day, I don't know why he stopped talking to me and Sarah. No idea why. Couldn't tell you. Completely clueless about that. Um, but I know, and like my stepdad said, he was like, he really only called you out of desperation from what I feel. And I said, even if it is, I said, I can't tell him no. I can't just sit and watch somebody die like that, without trying to do
Sometimes,
something.
Justin, I want a single act of kindness can change not only his life but your life as well.
Like I said, I'm not an ass. I'm not gonna not help him if he needs it, but I know he's only calling me out of desperation because what I was told by my stepdad is that they've gone through a whole bunch of family members and nobody's been a match.
Me,
And
I left the door a crack and it's windy enough. It blew the door back open again, and it's only like
What's up, Joel?
15 degrees out there, so I better go close it again.
But I mean, my dad sounded like such shit. He almost sounded like somebody that had a stroke. Like, that's what he sounded like. He just sounded really bad.
So what's the next step? You're considering it, or you said you would, or?
Yeah, I have to get my blood tested. So Sarah's gonna try to get see if her office can pull my records on Monday. So she can't do it. Somebody else at her office has to do it. But
Well, the other thing too is, you have to wonder whether his doctor is gonna authorize it, maybe just, it might be, people scrambling to try and figure out how to get him a kidney, and then the doctor will say, nah, he's not really a good candidate for a kidney transplant.
well, that's what I'm saying. The biggest thing is you have to be either one of the universal donating blood types, or you have to be, there's two different blood types that you can be that are able to donate
Well, there's
without
a
being a match.
familia match, which is usually children or that kind of thing, or there's just a random match that all the markers match up, and they can
Well,
go to a
well, from
kidney
what
bank.
I understand, and I could be wrong from what I read, but you have to be, there's two different blood types that you can be to donate if you're not the same blood type.
Right,
So if I'm not one of those two and I'm completely different from him, there's just no way to do it.
right.
So from what I read, so right, Brenda, and like I said, I'm not gonna sit there and just exactly.
Well,
Even though,
it's nice of you having no contact and somebody else reached out to you, not, he didn't.
well, he did because my stepdad told him he wasn't gonna do it. He wasn't gonna be a middleman for it. That they needed to call and talk to me directly. So they ended up calling me on the phone. I mean, I had a good like 5-10 minute conversation with my dad. I mean, like I said, I tried to stay positive through the whole thing. So
That's the first time you've talked to him in how long?
almost 10 years.
10 years.
He doesn't know. He barely knows his grandkids. Like he doesn't know Aubrey at all because she was born after that, and she was born right at the time he stopped talking to us. So he's never even talked to her, or even seen her, or met her, nothing. Kelsey tried to get up with him like 8 months ago, and he refused to talk to her.
Really?
Because he said,
I'm guessing from this, he's not well.
"Yep,
He's experiencing kidney failure.
Oh dear.
but yeah, he's
So
don't."
when Kelsey reached out to him, did he just ignore her, or did she?
No, he told her that he wanted to talk to her, but if he thought that she was just we were trying to use her to get a hold of him. And I told Kelsey, I said, if you want to get a hold of him, you can get a hold of him. I won't talk to him if that's what he wants. But if you want to have a relationship with him, I don't care. That's up to you. And she tried to reach out to him multiple times on Facebook, and he wrote back a couple times. And the last thing he wrote to her was like, well, if this is just a way of your parents trying to get a hold of me, then I don't want to talk.
That's a
And
little bit of paranoia there.
I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
I'd hope so.
hopefully you'll get some resolution to where you're comfortable with it and everybody, and maybe he gets taken care of. I don't know.
So is he undergoing dialysis then?
Yeah, he's doing that. Because when I was on the phone with him, he said right before we ended the conversation, he said he had to leave to go to it. So, what's up, Curtis?
Hey, Curtis.
The problem is, though, too, is he's all the way in Nevada, so it's on the
Oh,
other
that's
side of
right.
the
Yeah,
country.
that's part of your
Yeah,
West
but-
Coast connection.
Not as far away as you can get, isn't it?
Just about, yeah. He lives in Pahrump, Nevada, so that's not very far from where he lived in California. It's only about I think like a 3 or 4 hour drive. I think it's like a 3 or 4 hours somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's great of you to talk to him and to offer to help any way you can, and that just it just
Well, after all,
makes you the better person.
he's blood, isn't he? That's the thing. Is your dad?
Well,
Yeah.
JD, what you'll find is that statement is true. The older you get, the more willing you are to help everyone around you the best you can, because you don't know that tomorrow could be your last day, and you don't want to pass on with things on your to-do list, is the way I call it. But in this world today, you never know. You never know how long we got. But at 73 years old, I don't know how long I've got either. So
It's snow. There's not much you can do about it. We had snow overnight. Not a lot.
what's Precious doing?
Barking. Just standing in front of me barking outside.
When he does that, was he usually want a treat, or does he want to go out, or what?
He's already out. I'm just outside having a cup of tea and a smoking the freezing cold.
Ah,
We've just got a dusting of snow on the ground. There was more earlier on, but it's melting a bit now.
yeah, Joel, good for you. You're still hanging in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of those people, will keep right on with their life until they're in their 90s.
Mhm.
We have a salesman who's 76. He's got more energy than me. So Curtis
Yeah,
said,
JD, I have an estranged brother that I haven't talked to him in 15, 20 years. Lives in the same town. Last I knew he did. I don't keep track of him, and I know he doesn't keep track of me.
y'all, have you ever wondered about getting back up with your brother?
No,
You don't think about it?
he was that was a brother that used to, when I was a kid, he used to bring his friends over and they used to beat me up. And my relationship with him didn't fade. I still remember that. They used to play. We had a couch in the living room that had the high arms around the outside, and they used to play big time wrestling using me as like a 6 or 7 year old, ram me into it by the head and all kinds of stuff, and do all kinds of things to me. So no, I put that aside. I don't.
What's up, Dusty? What's up,
Hey,
man?
Dusty.
Hey, Nanya.
Eddie. Everybody else who's on the chat, I've not read any of it yet.
One day at a time. That's right. The weather here is still colder than the cold and spitting snow. The real snow is south of us, traveling east. When I say real snow, I'm talking about heavy snow.
Yeah. It snowed from about 11 o'clock last night here. But like I said, it's not sticking. Well, it's not staying.
Yeah, here's the snow that went through here was just, it just kind of clipped me, not much. So there's no snow on the ground. But it's just spitting a little bit of snow right now. This is the major snowstorm here. That is supposed to end up over in that area. And where's Joe? Joe's down around here. It's not good weather down there either.
It's 2 degrees C, feels like -1 here at the moment. And they told it's gonna snow again today, but
I just want to say,
Mm.
fuck you, right?
David.
Fucking
David.
snow. It snowed for 6 hours last night.
Oh,
Beautiful
wow.
snow. Beautiful snow, right?
Yeah.
This morning,
all
gone.
gone. Yeah.
Everything. Just fucking pissed it down, it's gone. It's like, didn't even get to make a snowball.
Yeah, they keep talking about that weather we're supposed to be getting this next week. It's gonna suck, like I said, because the bus fucking heater sucks. It's gonna be cold as shit on the bus.
Yeah, Brenda said that where she is supposed to get up into the mid 70s today. It's like 46 degrees there right now. I'd almost kill for 70-degree weather here, because you know what I find, Justin, is, and David, maybe you guys understand, and Mark, the older I get, the less tolerance I have for extreme weather. When I say extreme, I'm saying, you know, sub-zero or below 32, 34,
Well, that's why a
or
lot of people move
really
down here.
hot. I don't like that either.
Yeah, well, that's why a lot of people. It's why we get so many people that are called snowbirds down here. They come down here for the summertime.
Well,
Or
a
for the
lot of
winter, I
those
mean.
snowbirds, don't they have like motorhomes and they can drive them back and forth? And
A lot of them own houses down here and they go
oh,
back and
really?
forth. I mean, there are a lot of people that have motorhomes, and that there's some that actually have RVs parked at RV parks permanently, and some of them actually rent them out
Okay, so
during the
leave them there.
summertime when they're not there.
Okay.
And then there's some that own houses down here. Like there's a couple houses on our street where they only come down for like 6 months out of the year.
Mm.
They're down here for the winter and then they go back up there for the summertime because the summer's a little bit more milder up there.
Like
So they
Rachel.
go. I just, to me, it's like, that's a lot, going back and forth. I mean, I guess it's if you got the money, but
Yeah, Ray's got a condo down there, hasn't he?
Ray does?
Yeah. Ray
Yeah.
goes down to Florida for the winter.
we actually get a lot of
He's there
people
now.
from the UK in our area too that do the same thing.
Well, you know, I remember hearing, and I don't know anybody, but like a lot of people that live in Ontario and stuff go down to Florida.
Yeah, like I said, we get a lot of rich people from the UK that come here too. They
Mm.
own houses here. Some of them actually will have their cars shipped over here, and you'll see them driving around with UK tags on their cars. They'll drive them around, and they'll have their cars, I guess, shipped back afterwards. Because you can drive up to 6 months without having to change your license over. So a lot of them will just ship their car. The ones that have a lot of money, they'll ship their cars over here. and they'll drive them around while they're here, and then they'll ship them back.
Talking about people with lots of money traveling distances, a couple from Florida came over to the UK, bought a grade 1 listed mansion, didn't understand UK planning laws, ripped out the spiral staircases, 2 of them, all the fireplaces, and trashed the grand hall, right, and made it into a Airbnb style hotel without planning permission, and they've been told to put the whole lot of it back.
Oh, put it back the way it was?
Put it back the way it was.
Well, they got money, so obviously, so I'm sure that's more of an annoyance than a financial burden.
Oh, I don't know. Then grand staircases are bloody expensive to put in.
Well, like I said, unless they like saved up for years and years, and that was their dream, and they just didn't do enough research, that might fuck them over. But if they're like multi-millionaires, then it's probably not going to be that big of a deal for them. Like I said, it'd be more of an inconvenience than anything.
As long as they don't do like the guy from New York did. He fell foul of the planning laws, and he got told that he had to put it back. So he decided instead of putting it back, he just set fire to the place.
But I mean, that's
Went back
just
to New York.
that's just your own stupidity, because if you move somewhere, you need to know, especially like even here in the U.S., you buy an old house like that, you got to know, is it on it could be on a historical registry where you can't touch it, there you can only do minor upkeep on it and different things like that. Or I mean, it's stuff you have to look into. That's just bad planning on their part at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to spend millions of dollars upgrading a mansion like that, you think they would have had some professional come in that would have told them all that.
You know what the funny thing was? They took these grand spiral staircases out, right? And when I say grand, they were proper royal family style staircases with chandeliers and all that hanging off them, and replaced them with steps that looked like they were out of a caravan.
See, like over here, most of the time you can do all the work you want inside your house as long as you're not like taking out load bearing walls, shit like that. They don't care what you do inside the house. When you do shit outside, you got to get like permits and stuff.
Oh, I love
It really depends on where you live, though. Some places are stricter than others.
You'll be surprised how many times people over here, all foul of that, don't take out the load bearing wall. And normally the idiots are like, "Oh, it's in the basement. It doesn't matter." Take it out, the whole fucking building just disappears. Happens quite a lot in London. Because over here as well, people are digging down. You don't realise you can dig down, but you got to remember you got foundations there, and once you dig down, the foundations have no support.
Plus, you don't know what old shit's up under that house either. It might have been from years past, You might dig into an old ass tunnel or something. Especially if you were in what is it, Paris that has all those damn catacombs?
Yeah.
Italy, Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's got like the 1,000 miles of fucking catacombs underneath. They've never even actually mapped the whole thing.
It surprises me how many people dig down in London as well, because when you think how many London Underground trains are underneath them buildings, just suddenly dig down, you're in the underground. Oops.
Like, oh, I got my own subway entrance. Nice.
Suddenly just turn up. Oh, Waterloo Station. Perfect. Staff are like, where'd these fucking stairs come from? I don't know.
Looks like Joe's going to a little mini meetup with Johnny and Ken.
I know Joe's going to be having withdrawal symptoms because I've not been on for a while. So shut up, Joe.
Oh, and that's true too, Dusty. Yeah, we get a lot of Ontario plates down here. You'll see a lot of people from Ontario. I'm actually surprised how many fucking plates I see from California here in Florida. It's actually quite often I see cars with California plates. Hold on, Laura. Ooh, that looks good, Laura. It's got some sushi.
Oh,
Looks good. I'd eat that.
you know what? She's bloody lucky. I'm in good mood.
I love sushi.
Fish should not come over that doorstep.
I've been craving sushi for like the last week and I still haven't gotten any. Publix makes really good
Fishes
sushi.
should be just left where they are.
Yeah, our one of our grocery chains here, Publix, they make really good sushi. They actually make it in house and then they package it up and put it out on the floor to sell. But they make it from they actually get all the stuff and they build it themselves right there in the store. It's really good. For grocery store sushi, it's very good. Because like I've tried the sushi Walmart sells and it's fucking half the time the rice is crunchy, nasty. Stop buying theirs. I gave it a chance a few times and I was disappointed just about every time I ate it, so I just stopped buying it.
Just gonna say, right, think of it this way. When it comes to sushi, the people preparing it can scratch whatever part of their orifice and whatever without washing their hands and get away with it because the smell would just be the same. It's disgusting.
That is gross. Nasty.
That's the whole point. I'm trying to put everybody off sushi.
Yeah.
I
Right.
used to like to buy sushi at the supermarket where they had it pre-made in the cooler.
Well, like Walmart, they get theirs already shipped and made. Where Publix actually they get all the ingredients and then they put it together right there in the store. Theirs tends to be a lot better. I've never had an issue with theirs.
And the worst bit is they've now brought out vegetarian sushi. What is it? Raw carrot.
Mm.
I mean, pretty much it would
Wrapped in
use-
rice.
Yeah. It's just like, what are you doing? Just pack it in.
Yeah, it'd just be seaweed, wrap, rice, carrots, probably. Some of them use like the green onions.
Most places, when they say it's seaweed, it's actually cabbage.
Yeah.
The one Publix here, they actually use actual seaweed. You can taste it. And it does not look like cabbage at all.
Yeah, cucumber.
Except brandy. Yeah, cucumber. Yeah, that's another. The two that I like the most is the spicy tuna rolls, and then I like the California rolls. Those are my two favorite. But those don't actually have any like. People have this misconception that sushi is just a bunch of raw fish, and the two that I mainly eat don't have any raw fish, and it's just tuna. And then the other one, they actually use imitation crab meat in California rolls. They don't even use real crab meat.
Imitation crab meat. What are you doing?
Unless you actually go to a real sushi place, and some of them will use actual crab meat.
Yeah, it's just mashed up fish with crab essence.
It's all right though.
It's like when you buy crab sticks here, they're not crab, they're raw fish with crab flavoring.
Yeah, it would just be a California roll without the imitation crab meat, pretty much, Dusty. That'd be about the only meat that's in that. So, I'm not gonna lie, I actually like eating imitation crab meat. Like you can buy it in the little packs. It's actually not bad. Tastes fine. Just
That's a
warm it
point.
up a little bit and just dip it in some butter.
I just remembered. Happy birthday to Sarah for yesterday.
Yeah, she's at church at the moment, so she's not here.
So Sarah's going to take care of all your finding out medically what.
Yeah, she's gonna try to help me figure that out. Not, I can go to the hospital and do one of those free blood donations, and then they'll give me my blood type. Because that's the biggest thing I have to find out. That's going to tell me whether I even need to move
blood
forward
type.
or not.
But then, and once, if you're the right blood type, then they'll test you further, right?
Yeah, then I don't really. I'll just have to take it day by day after that.
The amount of tests you've been having recently, you should have it on your medical files, what your blood type is.
Well, that's why I said she's gonna have somebody pull my records because
Yeah.
she can't do it herself because she's family. So,
Yeah.
but she can
Is
have
she-
one of the other girls at work do it, and then
Yeah.
if it's in there, then I don't have to. If it's not, then I'll just go to the hospital, do a
Is
free
it your
donation.
dad
and
or
they'll
you
give it
or
to me.
Sarah's dad?
No, it's my dad. Sarah's dad passed away a few years ago,
All right.
like 3-4 years
It's
ago.
his estranged father, David. You probably missed it.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, Laura's
He-
kept me updated on stuff.
You haven't talked to him since when?
Been like 8 or 10 years, something like that. It's been a while.
And that's sod's law. They don't talk to you, and then when they do,
Actually-
they want some part of you.
Actually, it's been 10 years because Aubrey was born right after he stopped talking to us. So,
As long as he appreciates what you're going to do for him.
like I said, I'm not even going to bring up anything negative. I'm just trying to help somebody and keep somebody from dying at the end of the day. I'm not an asshole. I realize that he probably called me out of desperation because he couldn't find anybody else, but I'm going to put that whole thing aside and
Yeah.
do what I think's right. So,
You know what, Justin? I've always thought you were a bit of an asshole, but for this, you're a top man.
Yeah.
what's up, Jody?
Well, I think it's great. No matter how it turns out, you've offered, you're willing to help him no matter what it is. And forgetting about the past, he's still your blood father. And
What's up,
I
Randy?
think it's great.
You know, like I said,
Well-
once I figure out the blood thing, that will determine whether I got to move forward. If I'm not able to do it, then that just ends the whole.
At
thing
least
right
you
there,
offered,
so.
yep.
Well, put it this way: if my dad turned up and said he needed a liver, I'd say go Tesco's and fuck off.
David, it's easier for you to say that now.
No, no. My dad
but-
caused me so much pain. Right?
Everybody's
he's just a-
situation's different.
He's just a sperm donor to me. Yeah. He beat my mum up. He beat my stepmom up. He can fuck right off.
Yeah, because everybody's situation's different. My dad was not a bad person
Now,
per se, like he didn't beat his wives or anything like that. He
Good
just
morning, Lloyd.
he just like
wasn't-
weddings.
he wasn't the best at just
Morning.
keeping a relationship with his
Yeah.
only kid.
Yeah, he just like wedding cake, didn't he?
Yeah. What's up, Lloyd?
Not much. I woke up thinking I was going to get up and get on the show just as it starts, and then I fell back asleep. So I've already had my nap this morning.
Why
Well,
not?
you did. That's called a pre-nap, Lloyd.
That's it.
Now,
That's it.
I was told, Lloyd, the older you get, the more energy you get. Why are you
No,
taking so many
Who
naps?
the hell told? Yeah, well, that's
Hey, look,
the energy
I-
I've got. I've got
I-
energy for a nap. Yeah.
well,
was
it was
told-
probably Justin. It was a young person that gave you that rumor, but
No,
that's
see,
not true.
Yeah.
I was told that vision gets better, hearing gets better.
No.
You know, it's almost like superpower, man.
And memory starts to just fade.
It's almost like
yeah.
superpowers, you know, the older you get.
Yeah. Superpowers with kryptonite. Yeah. Yeah. The problem is I wished I knew now at 20, I wish I knew, I wished I had this knowledge when I was 20 instead of, in my.
Well, yeah, when
He
we were
wa-
in our 20s and 30s, I used to look forward to retiring and figuring it was going to be easy street after that, you know? Nope.
No.
No, see, Lloyd was just, he wants to be able to go back his 20-year-old self and tell him you should have invested in Apple.
That is
There
true.
you go. Should have made all those investments.
Should have
Yeah.
invested in Apple and Nvidia.
Yeah. 1986, 85, yeah, 86. I had some investments, and I was putting in money each month into it, and I was going to do okay with it, I thought. And, but they invested a little heavily in Walmart stock, which I thought was ridiculous. So in 87, when the bottom dropped out, I'm on the phone. I said, that's it. Just close the account. And I'm not, the guy that owns the company is saying, it's just, it's just paper. And I'm like, yeah, I can't afford it. I wished I had thought a little longer on that, because the stock doubled right after that. And it's like,
And that stock has split a few times too. Since
oh,
then.
it's split
Yeah.
about 4 times since then. It's like, man, I'd be, yeah, because it was like a 10-year investment. I'd be fully vested 10 years. And at the end of 15 years, I would have already accumulated a little over $1.5 million. It's like,
I could just, all I think about is fucking Forrest Gump Lloyd back in the 60s. Lieutenant Dan invested me into some fruit company. Now
Well,
we don't have to
yeah.
worry about money anymore.
yeah.
see,
Fucking Apple.
I could go back in time, right?
Huh.
I was born in 1977, January 1977. If I could go back in time, I would go back to April or May 1976, and I'd tell that little sperm cell, swim the other way.
Actually, you know what would have been the easiest? You know which one would have been the easiest investment? That would have had a really short turnaround compared to like a lot of the stocks we're talking about. Is
What's
if we
that?
would have been able to go back in the early 2000s and buy up a bunch of Bitcoin.
Bitcoins, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Back
coulda
in the
got-
day.
Like that one guy bought 10,000 Bitcoins. He bought it for pennies. I mean, like less than pennies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he turned around and traded 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. And then if he would have saved that, dude, years later, he would have been worth hundreds of millions, like $200-300 million.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like that would have had a short, like what, about 10-year turnaround,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
and you would have sold it and been worth millions. I mean, hundreds of millions if you bought enough of them.
As long as his pizza tasted good, he'll be all right.
If that's
Yeah,
one investment I
he
could go
enjoyed
back
his-
and tell myself, that would be it.
David, you said you were born in 77?
Yep.
Yeah.
God, he's just a youngster, ain't he? He's just
Yeah,
a
he
pup.
is. I was already married and divorced by then.
I was in 78. I just finished up my first marriage and was headed into my second one. So yeah, it's like,
You say a
okay.
youngster, but in 3 weeks' time, I'm going to be 48. Right? I've got bones that are aching like shit. Right? I struggle to get up. I'm sleeping more and more. I had a bloody big seizure on Boxing Day that's knocked the fuck out of me. Hence why I've not been around. Right? You
Okay.
say I'm a youngster? I don't feel it.
Yeah, well, it's like my youngest son is 50, and the next one, the youngest one that lives here is 51, and he had to go in and have his heart, they had to do the heart cath and fry off little
Put a
parts of
stent
it there.
in and that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
well, yeah, not a stent, but they had to go in because it was going AFib.
Oh,
So they had
okay.
to go in, zap 2 spots. At 40, he found out he only had 1 kidney. Never knew that. He's had neck surgery, back surgery, hip surgery.
Wow.
And it's like, and his older brother, who's in a lot better health. It's like, so my oldest is 56. Yeah, he'll be 57 this year. God. So yeah,
That's when you know you're getting old, Lloyd, when you're giving your kid advice on heart stents.
yeah. Well, it's like yesterday. I went out. My son's been off for the last 2 weeks, so we've been trading off, going back and forth. Who pays for dinner? And he's in the process of going through his second divorce. I can't wait for that one to be over. She was crazy. Anyways,
Lloyd's getting a new roommate.
yeah, no. He has his own house. He lives right next door. He owns that house, and she has no claim to it. So, but
Is it
anyways,
one of those things? If you buy it before you were married, you get to keep it. in
Yep.
one of those
Yep,
states?
yep,
Mhm.
yep. He had ownership prior to the marriage.
So
Yep.
she signed a prenup.
No,
No, the,
No,
but
there's
no.
it
certain,
didn't.
What you own over here, I don't know, maybe it's different over there, David.
Yeah.
But if you own stuff here, you own it. They
well, it
don't.
depends on what state you're in. Some states, if you own a business or any kind of assets before you get married, they don't have any claim to it. They only have claim to
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
after
But
that.
in this case, and from my understanding is that she's selling everything and she's heading to, I don't know, Venezuela or someplace that they can keep her. I don't care. She's wackadoodles. But yeah, so anyways, yesterday we're coming in and he's griping about the fact that you have to have different power plugs for stuff and these different cords for everything. I said, everything's going to USB-C. And I said, what is your problem? I said, geez, you sound older than me, you old goat.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like, God almighty, son, where you been for the last 10 years?
Well, the other thing about the electrical grid, I don't know what you use over there, David or Mark, is they have different plugs that they're like three, one sideways, one vertical, and
Mhm.
one the other way.
Yeah.
Right. In the UK, we have every plug has to be standard. 3 prongs. Your earth, your live, your negative, neutral.
Yeah.
Right. The earth has to be longer than the live and the neutral. Has to be. Because if I try to plug a 2-pronged American
what's up,
device
Ronnie?
into my socket, it will not go in under no circumstances. You could get a
Right.
hammer and hammer the shit out of it. It will not go in. It
Well,
has to have that earth box open.
they have gone through over the years and they've made one side just a little wider than the other, but you get stuff that's really old, it's the both blades, but if it's just a 2-slot, it doesn't matter anyways which way you turn it because
I'm surprised
it's-
you guys actually reach retirement the way your electric is. You got plug sockets in the bathroom with no earth. You'd be like, might as well just get in the bath with a toaster.
No, they
Yeah,
have
well,
ground, but they have their own breaker too.
yeah, now a lot of them
Yeah,
have
but-
they're
yeah,
required to
ours over
have a
here.
separate. Yeah.
But
Every-
originally, upstairs,
There's a
I
GFI plug.
I have a power box for the second floor where you have to screw in the things.
Oh my God. Yeah, the old
Yeah.
fuses, the old
Screw
fuse
in the
system.
fuse.
Well,
Yeah.
we have a standard 3-prong plug. Every plug has to have its fuse, which is like a circuit breaker within the plug. And then it's also got a second circuit breaker on the line of the electrics. The lights are not allowed to be connected to the same network as the plug sockets, and your cooker has to be plugged straight into the wall via no plug at all. Has to go straight into the wall, and then it's fused off.
So you don't have a great big 220 plug that for like your
No, I think
stove
they
or your
run
oven?
240
We're
on
240.
everything. On everything.
Yeah.
They're 240
Everything's
on everything.
240.
Oh, even on your house, like your
Everything.
lamp or to plug in to
Everything.
charge.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's because we use 13-amp fuses, yeah, and it regulates everything down to what it should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, like in my bathroom, we have a plug, but it's a GFI. It has a built-in
GFI.
breaker.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
I was to plug a toaster in it and get in the bathtub and drop that bitch, it would shut off instantly. It'd kick that
Yeah.
plug
You'll
off.
get a tingle though.
You'll get
Yeah.
a tingle though. Yeah.
That's the
Guaranteed.
thing. Over here, you get
Oh, yeah.
the toaster, and yeah, you're going to get a tingle, yeah, but everything else is going to go pop first.
Yeah.
Right? You've seen you've seen the movies where the husband chucks the toaster into the wife in the bath. Yeah,
Right,
that wouldn't
right,
happen. Yeah, everything would just blow.
Yeah. Well, it pretty much would here too, but if it's plugged in, of course, the caveat to that is if you plug it into extension from down the hall and then take and toss it in on the tub, well, ground fault breaker won't help you a bit.
Look, I don't know how many older houses that just had the 2-prong plugs, and I took and one of the big extension cords and just rip that ground plug piece off.
Oh
pair of
yeah, yeah.
pliers, plug that
Oh,
bitch
yeah.
right in the wall.
Yep, yep. Done that. I've done that many a time, you know.
That's the way our plugs were in this house before I changed out about 8 plugs through the house so far because they
Yeah.
were all they were 2-pronged, but they were so worn out you would plug something in and it'd just fall right out of the wall. And I was
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
frustrated, so I went to Walmart one day and we got like 7 or 8 plugs, and I just went and I got a plug tester and I just went around the house one at a time, just replacing as many as I could.
The one thing I do like is these American React videos when
What's
they
up,
go,
Corey?
American React to the British plug. And then they go, the British plug's great because it's the way it's built, you can't pull it out the wall. Yeah. And then they go, the downside is it's got 3 prongs, and when it falls flat and they stick up in the air. Don't you just,
Yeah.
you just contradicted yourself
Oh,
because you can't pull
Yeah.
the darn thing out the wall, and we don't have to take them out the wall. We got switches on our sockets. We can just turn them off.
Right.
Boom. Done. We leave everything plugged in. We just turn it off at the socket.
Good
Yeah.
morning, Corey.
some of our sockets have switches. Depends on how you
Yeah.
wire it in your house.
Yeah.
A lot of newer houses, there's a lot of the plugs that will have their own switches.
Oh, we're not
Sometimes-
allowed any other
some-
thing. The only thing new that they've allowed is USB ports on the sockets.
Especially when you're going in a new house, like one of the new houses, and you're trying to figure out what fucking switches controlling what. You're fucking flipping 15 switches trying to figure it out.
How the hell? Everything over here is labeled. So you know what a light switch is, you know what a plug socket is.
Nah, there'd just be
And-
like fucking 5 switches on the wall, and you're like flipping them, trying to figure out what they go to.
Good morning, JDS.
Eventually, you'll get used to what switches do what, and you'll just know. But
Yeah. I had this house here. I have three switches operate. One operates the lights here, one operates the living room, and the third one, well, I can't remember what the third one is. Anyways, yeah, that's what I mean. But at Christmas
Operates a
time,
toaster in the bathroom.
yeah, well, yeah, it probably does. Now at Christmas time one year, my grandkids were down, and I had this one grandson. He was always playing with switches. So all of a sudden, one time, all the light socket. Oh, that's what it is. The light socket's on my back wall of my living room, so that when you walk in the house, right at the front door, you can flip that on, and you got your living room lights on as well. And so I didn't know it, and we'd forgot about it because we never touch it because just it's always hot over there, and that's where our lamps are plugged in. We turn them on or off by hand. But anyways, we couldn't get, all of a sudden our living room lights, that whole wall quit working. No plug-ins, nothing coming to it, no power. And got a cousin that was coming down who was going to crawl up in the attic and start tracing the wires up there. And, you know, it had been very uncomfortable anyway. So it was a nasty job, but he was willing to do it. And I don't know, I walked by one day and I forgot I wasn't even thinking. I reached over and flipped the switch, and all of a sudden every light on that wall lit up. I'm like, oh my God, that little snot had flipped one of the others. I forgot there's one there and one over here. So like when you're leaving to go to bed at night, you flip that switch down and it shuts off your living room lights, in one switch. And like, and so I put tape over it so they, the grandkids knew after that, don't touch, Hey, Brian.
Lloyd called him up trying to save face. Yeah, don't worry about it. I figured it out. It's just a bad switch.
That's what it's
replaced it.
exactly what I did too. I said,
Well, Lloyd
yeah,
tells
yeah,
me.
we finally found the problem. I was able to fix it. So,
Yeah.
and then
So-
Judy went and told him.
He says, what was it? Oh, don't worry, it'd go over your head. It's
Yeah,
too
well,
complicated for you.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah, well, and that would have been the lie. He would have known that because I was asking him.
I
to
don't
do
know if
the
you've
job.
seen it, Lloyd, but under Paul's desk is what could only be described as a mega power network, extension leads that are daisy chained, and every socket is used.
Yeah, he's
Right,
got
so
like a bunch of
he-
freaking power strips
so-
under there.
Yeah, so one when he uses the 4, if he's got a 4 socket, he's got 3 used, and then he's got another one plugged into that to keep it going. How
Yeah,
he
yeah, just-
blown the place up, I'll never know. Right, but over here, you could do that, but once you hit the 13 amps on all your devices, that would be it. It would just cut out. It would say, "Nope, enough's enough." That protects everything. Oh, here he goes, Latch. Watch this.
Yeah, look at all that. And then he's got
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, you do. You got quite a few there. But notice they're not the little bitty cheap ones from Walmart. They're
No, they're
decent.
good ones.
They're good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, running off of that old tube electricity.
Yeah. He's got an hamster outside running around like shit trying to power all that up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's his alternative power source.
That's why you feed.
And then down here, I got more of them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This
And
is
then
why.
look,
This
he's
is
got
why
a
you feed all the squirrels.
Look, he's got a 6-plug one plugged into the
6
two
plug in the
plugs.
wall. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all those are plugged into.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
A.
that might be a little pushing it a
much.
little
It
bit.
works. It works, and I don't have any problems with it.
The
Yeah.
impressive bit is he's got all that wiring and everything there, but he's got a super mod con computer table.
Yes, Corey. To Paul's half of Paul's house is still knob and tube.
And knob and tube boring.
So
Yeah.
half the house is modern electric, and then the other half is knob and tube still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he feeds the squirrels well, and they
Now-
power him up running around on that little wheel.
Now, Paul, do you do the standard way of fixing those screw-in fuses when you ain't got any and you can't get to the store? You know, one goes out.
Oh, you just put
The-
metal
put the
around
pe-
it?
Silver foil
put
out of a cigarette packet.
stick a penny in there and screw the thing back in.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Oh yeah, I've done it.
No, I've got plenty of those little.
Yeah.
Silver
Fuck's
foil out of a cigarette packet.
Wondering why your
Right.
generation survived as much as they did, Lloyd.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did. That's the problem. See, we've learned to survive, and these young kids now, they're just like,
Well,
It's like
technology isn't. We didn't grow up with the technology.
no,
I
we did
remember
not.
The phone on the wall. You used to have
Oh,
to
I did.
pick it up, and you used to have to listen because
Listen to make sure
party line.
nobody else was, party line.
nobody else was using it.
Lloyd's like, we use knob and tubing, not like these pussy breaker generations.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, we did have, they were round fuses with a little metal in them, and when they went,
And
When your lights went out,
you could see the actual metal that popped. you know?
yeah, it's sort of like it was round, but it was in the design style of a well, probably
About
you
the
wouldn't
size of
even-
a quarter.
I was going to say the car fuse, but I forgot they've got the little plug-ins now. He wouldn't know what those little glass tube
Yeah.
fuses were in cars. So
Look at what Donald's saying. He's trying to put himself in your guys' generation. Tell
we
him.
didn't all survive. We that's it. We weeded out the weak ones. That's exactly what
That's it.
happened.
Yep, Donald.
You're right, Don. Absolutely.
Yeah, but Lloyd, he's not in your generation though. See, he's trying to take claim for your generation.
Well,
from
I
Gen-
know he's he's
He's a youngin. Tell him.
He's the youngin.
He's
he's a
Generation
youngin',
X.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's got granddaughter living there, so grandkid.
Yeah. He's a grandpa already, so it. But well, even then, he's
Well, I can't wait for the day till Justin's daughter shows up pregnant
Nope.
or has kids and
And don't even.
or shows up with some guy.
Yeah.
You know what? As long as you're recording it, because I'd love to see that guy's face when Justin says, "I want a fucking word with you."
Yeah, one of the funniest
Gen-
instances.
He said no,
Gen
the
X.
Gen X's were abandoned by the Lloyds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see,
Uh.
what's going to happen on that day? Justin's going to be stood at the door going, I want a fucking word with you. And the guy's going to be like, what? He goes, hi, meet Sarah. Sarah's got a few more words.
Yeah, I can't wait for some guy, young guy, pull up in his car and he rings the doorbell or whatever, and he says, I'm here for your daughter.
Yeah.
Well, that all depends on what kind of a car he's driving. If he's in
Yeah,
a
I mean-
Ferrari, it'll be come in.
No, I don't think so. Justin's pretty protective of his kids.
Here we go. This is going to be me right here.
Actually, if they turn up in a Ferrari, that's when you kick them out. You're like, fuck off, you little daddy's boy.
No, this is going to be me answering the door right here.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm just a minute.
My daughter was of the age she could start going out, or she could, and she had been to camp, and it was a camp that goes all the way up to 18, and she had been to camp and met this guy up there, and he was like a counselor, but he was like only a year older than her. So anyway, we knew he was coming. So it just so happened that day I was, cause she was all excited for us to meet him and everything, like, whatever. And, I was working that day at a convenience store, and, these two guys come in and, they said, do you have a phone book I can borrow? I said, sure. And so then he goes out and uses the payphone. This is back when they had payphones, Justin. Anyways, he goes out and uses it, and you could see him stand there, and he was like, and comes back in. He says, can I see that phone? Well, no, he had the number. That was it. He had the number, and he dialed it, and it didn't, they whoever it was didn't answer. So he comes back in. Can I see, you got a phone book I can borrow? And that's when I handed him the phone book. And so he's sitting there, and he's caught. And so he goes back out and calls again, and they didn't answer. And he comes back in and is telling his friend who was getting some sodas. He says, I cannot believe that. She's not even there. She won't even answer the phone. And I kind of looked at him, and I had glanced as he was looking through the phone book, and I said, well, young man, that sounds like you got a problem there, don't you? He says, yeah, this gal, I was supposed to meet her and her parents and everything. And she must have given me the wrong number or something, because nobody's answering. And I said, huh? I said, well, the girl's name wouldn't happen to be Tammy, would it? And you could just see his face go white. Yes, sir. And I said, she's there. I said, or at least she was when I left for work. And I said, her mom's there. I said, they're probably out front doing something. Hello, Mr. Mendenhall. It's nice. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I just busted out laughing. I said, yeah, go on up there. Just drive up there. I know they're there. So, I said, either her or her, if she's not, she's gone somewhere with her mom to the store real quick. And I said, but I can pretty well tell you that's not the case. They're just out front or something. Sure enough. And he ended up telling a story in court that, and they broke up, but he kept in touch with us for years afterwards, but that was so funny because his face just went sort of ass gray, and his friend is standing over there now busting up laughing, and as he's stumbling into I'm sorry, Mr. Mendenhall. Because he was really starting to, I thought I better stop this boy before he says too much and then really sticks his foot in his mouth. So
Justin,
should've
your
let him run.
Justin, your daughter's 16 now?
She'll be 17 at the end of this month.
17. Oh, the golden age.
What?
I got grandkids older
What the
now.
hell, the golden age?
She
I
could-
They-
gotta jump off. I gotta go do some stuff.
Good
I'll go tell
He's
her.
gonna go check on her.
He's gonna go check make sure his daughter's still there. Yeah.
He's got to start teaching her to drive soon.
Oh, 16 over here.
16, yeah, they start driving at 16.
Get a regular license 16. Usually now in Michigan, they have driver's ed classes in high school. Or you can go to a driving school.
Yeah.
Well, you can drive a 50cc scooter moped at 16, but you can't drive a car until you're 17.
Now you get a regular driver's license here at 16 once you
Yeah, but it used to be 18, didn't it?
graduate some kind of training.
I think it used to, you could get like the small, small scooters. You could start driving those at, was it 14 or 15
Yeah.
back?
Well, out in Kansas, when I was in Kansas, I had a bunch of girls at a girls' Catholic school. Used to work in my pizza parlor,
Oh, yeah.
and they used to drive the family car over there, and it would they had a permit to drive to and
Drive to
from
work.
work and to and from
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not at night.
See, it's strange over here. It used to be 18 to drive, but you could pass your test at 17. Now
Yeah.
they've changed it without any pass of law. It just suddenly become 17. But the actual general age of driving is actually 0. There is no age limit if you're on private land.
Well, that's
Yeah.
It's weird. If you're on private land, you could put your kid behind that semi truck if you want.
Well, that's because over here, a lot of the agricultural, they
Yeah.
had kids, and the kids used to drive the trucks and stuff up and down the road, picking up feed, seed, or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Or hauling. Sometimes they'd have a field in one area and you'd have
Yep.
to go out and get the bales out. You bale it and you have to
Bale
load
of
it.
hay, yep.
This was back before the round bales and all that stuff. And you'd have the crew bucking bales up onto, or tossing bales up onto the trailer. Then when it got full, you had to drive out onto the road and down a ways, maybe go to the weigh station,
All right.
and then turn around and take it to wherever their hay barn was at. So
Right.
Mm. Yeah,
You'll be pleased to know.
you get the 12-year-old kids driving to the shops in town on a tractor.
yeah,
You'll be
that's
pleased to know that the reason Justin left was not the chat about his daughter. Somebody mentioned Fortnite.
Well, everybody's got their own addictions. Mine is Boston Creams, and
Yeah.
his is Fortnite. So Laura is too, Fortnite.
yeah.
Well, they've
Yeah,
got me
Brian,
playing
yeah.
Fortnite. I'm not on the scale. I don't play the fighting games or anything like that.
Well, that's strange, David, that you don't play any kind of games, but yet you'll do your truck thing,
Well, I've started playing Fortnite, but only the racing games side of it. I do the Rocket League,
Oh, okay.
but I won't be doing it like live on YouTube or anything like that because I'm shit at it.
Oh yeah, that's the Skyflies
Yeah, CB radios. Yeah,
CB radios. I think I
Oh.
still have a couple out in the garage.
I
Snap.
think I got one or
Right.
I've still got an illegal one and a legal one.
yeah. Up to a
It's
certain,
strange that
they
no one uses them anymore.
yeah,
Yeah, it's still used. It's a lot more not as strict now. They've added a lot of extra bits to what they've first brought out as legal.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they dropped the wattage, or was it? Yeah, the wattage. It used to be, I think it's 5 watts is the max now. Well, when they first came
Yeah.
out, a lot of the radios were like 10 wattage, something like that, and then once they started lowering it, the people just lost interest in.
Well,
And
that's
then-
when people started having cell phones in your car,
Right, exactly. Cell phones came along and killed out the CB radio.
Yeah, ours is 4 watts.
Yeah, I remember back in the 80s, we was sat in the living room. Dad used to listen to the police and the fire brigade on it, And one night it came over that the police was on the way out to this house, and it was someone that my dad hated. Yeah, so my dad and his friends went over to the house to keep the guy chatting. Yeah, well, the guy was trying to pack his stuff up and leave. Yeah, because he heard it on the TV, and they ended up keeping him there until the police turned up.
And my dilemma is today it's cold out, but it's not snowing. It's just spitting snow and it's not on the ground. Should I pack up all my Christmas stuff, my lights and everything now, or wait until historically tomorrow is the day you're
Tomorrow,
supposed
yeah.
to take it down?
Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow's Epiphany.
Paul, you need to follow my idea.
Don't put it up.
Now, Laura's Christmas tree came down on Boxing Day.
Oh. Did you scrap it or did you put it away?
No, it's in the cupboard. Might not be in the pieces it was in, but it's in the cupboard.
Well, my tree in the living room that's in front of the picture window stays up 365 days a year and it's lit,
Right.
Yeah, and I wouldn't like you to take that down because the fucking dust on that. See, that's my problem with them. It's not the tree. I like trees and stuff, but it's all the dust and the tinsel scrapping and the baubles drop off and get stood on.
Well, most
Oh,
of my
yeah.
lights now out there are those new ones that you put them in the ground and they shine up on the house and that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I got the front bushes, they all have lights, net lights on them.
Yeah. Frank says just leave it up. Save you time for next year. Yeah.
And I used to put lights all the way around the upper part of the house, and I didn't do that. So
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Paul? Take them down, put them in a box, send them to charity or whatever. Don't put them up next year. Save you all that effort climbing the bloody ladders.
well, I did every place I've got lights out now. It's not a ladder issue because
Next year it'll be bending down. That's the problem. So just scrap them.
the only thing I have to really probably take down and lug it away is my oh, I got the
Did you
wrong
have your
one.
minions still up?
No, those they wore out.
Oh,
When they stay up for so long, the plastic gets old and whatever, and pretty soon they just kind of shred.
I just noticed you in your background there. I just noticed you have there's a Canadian flag in that video.
Yeah,
Is that the border?
that's the American side, and they got the same thing over on the Canadian side.
Okay.
I haven't figured out yet why they got the Canadian flag at half mast, other than stupidity, but it's at
Well-
half mast because of Carter.
Well,
yes.
if that's the American side and that's American property, by rights, no flag can fly higher than the
higher.
American flag.
Yeah.
So they had to lower it in order to follow that regulation.
I was going to say that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because I looked at it, and then if you look, it's always, and even looking in that video, you can see it's even another couple inches, lower than the American flag.
Yeah, because they can't fly the flag at full mast for the inauguration, can they?
No, that's not it. It's because of Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter, the president.
No, what I'm saying is on the inauguration day,
No, they fly it.
flag still has to fly at half mast.
Well, we did it.
It's 30 days or something.
No. That's only when they die,
Well, he has died.
No, you said the inauguration.
No,
That's when we swear in our. As you said, but
On the inauguration day, the flag can still only fly at half mast
Yes, yeah,
because he's
yes,
still in that
okay.
30-day period. So
Right, right,
not going
yeah.
to get it full mast and that at the top.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any difference anyway. It's just we're used to that kind of stuff, so and it's showing respect.
Yeah.
So
See, most of my lights that I got to take down are here, and they're in the ground here, and I got
Yeah.
lights along this there. But over here, I've got the deer, and I've got
oh, look,
You need to take them deers down
yep.
because
yeah.
I can just see Ron coming out from behind one of them houses over there and shooting the fuck out of them.
See, I got another one right here. So this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. If it's not too cold, just go out there and pull them up, hack
That's
and
them
the
then,
away.
and in the front of the house, let me see if I can pull up the front of the house.
Have a word with the squirrels and see if they'll do it for you. Earn your nuts.
Okay, so here's the front of the house. This bush, this bush, this bush, this bush, they've all got lights on them. The net lights.
Okay.
Then over on this side of the house, that's a light right there. And that's all I gotta take down. That's all I put up.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm waiting for
So
the
you,
day that Paul shows us his cameras and a car goes past at the speed limit. It always seems to zoom past.
Oh, they zoom past, there's no doubt about
oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that would make you believe that they believe in speed limits.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
I'm as guilty as the next person because
oh, yeah.
I go up and down the road at 40, 45 miles an hour.
Do you like those cameras, the Wise cameras?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can watch all of the different cameras, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
show you what I've gotten too old to figure it out. I got extra Wise cameras here that I can't, you can only put so many on together.
Right.
And so they're sitting over here and um, it's really kind of stupid, but it is
Right.
what it is.
Well, my son's fixing to upgrade his. He wants one that'll give him an alert when anything moves in the house. And he went with the Ring. I'm thinking, they're a little pricey. So the Wise cameras started out were fairly cheap when they started out.
This is the south driveway.
Mm-hmm.
This is the north, looking north. That's up north.
Right.
But I can pan that camera too. And
Okay.
this camera is the one just over on here,
Right. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that side, and I can actually pan that. And this is the backyard that pans. This is my garage, and that doesn't. That's a fixed one.
Fixed. Yeah. Fixed focus. Yeah.
And here's my little baby girl, right there,
Oh,
right, me.
yeah. Is that like a Staffordshire Terrier or a pit bull terrier or American
She's a lab pit.
lab pit? Okay.
Yeah, and there I am there.
Oh, yeah. There you are. Frank's his real link cameras.
The Wise cameras I like because of the price, you know,
Yeah.
and they're not intrusive. I used to have a bigger camera over here on the garage, you know, that was
Mhm.
like a big ball type of thing, you know,
Right.
and it didn't do any better job than these little Wise cams.
And they're wireless, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's a brand new Wise cam right here.
I had a look
Yeah.
I had a look
Yeah.
at buying the Wise cameras, but the Wise app is not supported in the UK.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just my 2 cents worth. Are they actually powered cameras? So you've got them plugged in, or do they have batteries in them?
No, they plug in.
They plug in.
They
That's
have,
one
they
thing.
have, you plug in the cable into it. It's just a small little cable and it goes to a power inverter. You plug into the wall and plug into
Yep.
the socket. It just powers it right up.
Yeah, they're,
There's a lot
they're
of-
wireless cameras, but they need power.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of them floating around that are actually battery. And you put
Yeah.
lithium ion batteries in there,
Right.
and lo and
Rechargeable.
behold,
That's-
every 3 days you got to
Yeah.
recharge the darn thing.
Yeah. That's what my Ring doorbell on the front door is. And
Yeah. You have to keep taking it off and putting it on charge and then putting it back on again.
I have
Yeah.
sometimes I'm a little slow on the pickup, but Trevor, how long you been in here?
Only a couple of moments.
Oh, good.
Like-
I was thinking, man, how did I miss you? It's been a while since I talked to you. It's like,
See,
Yeah.
that's not a pan camera. That's just a plain one right there.
plain one. Yeah.
And it just plugs in there.
Right.
And you can, this is how you adjust it if you wanna.
Right.
Mark, if you're looking for a good camera, you want TP Link.
Yeah. No, they've been going along.
They do have a subscription-based service, but
Right.
even without it, it stores stuff on the memory card, and it also stores stuff on your phone for 7 days for free.
Okay.
Oh, that's not
So
bad.
it's definitely worth getting.
Mm. I mean, I've got a cheap camera doorbell, but all it does is take a photograph of the person that rings the doorbell,
Right.
and it will work video if I answer it. But it's always got a lag, and half of the time when you answer it on the phone, they've already gone.
Yeah. No, I bet.
That's the good thing with the TP links. You've got pan and tilt, and you can do everything with your phone.
Yeah, the doorbell I've actually got was an El Cheapo. It's actually got the camera built in, but when you push the button, it rings the chime inside. Plus, it's also Google Assistant available. So therefore, all the Google Assistants actually tell you that there's somebody at the front door. So you can't miss the fact that there's somebody at the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think all the cameras are the same. I can set for alarms and different things on all of these
Yeah,
cameras too.
yeah.
But it's a pain in the butt if I'm just using it to kind of keep an eye on things, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Every time somebody walks by, I don't want it letting me know somebody walked by, you know?
Right.
But
Right.
you got a dog for that.
The one they
Yeah.
fitted in Kate's alarm system was an Arlo, and that seems all right. You can you can just go onto it anytime you want and have a look at what's going on. You don't
Yeah,
need,
but-
and it will tell you if somebody walks anywhere near it, so she can see
Yeah.
people walking down the path
Yeah.
at the end of the
It
day.
all depends. Most
We'll be
all of the
back in just
cameras,
a sec,
Wise
guys.
and everybody else's, you can tailor it to what you want to use it for.
Yeah, but
Also, with a TP link, if you go into the app, you can pick spots that you do not want it to show. So if you don't want people walking past
yeah,
on the pavement, but you're
you
catching
can
a
set
bit
an
of the pavement, you
zone.
just put little dots on it and it will take it out.
And you put an SD card in these cameras and you got video. You can
Yeah.
go back and scroll
Yeah.
back and see it.
Yeah, I've got a camera on the front of the house that was fitted by ADT, but when I stopped doing the subscription to the alarm, you can't use the ADT app anymore, so the alarm doesn't work on your phone, only on the actual control box, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Here's Bill.
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
Hi,
Hold
Bill.
on.
Wait, I'm waiting for C's car.
Yeah, he's be on his way to his dad's.
There he
There we
is.
go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
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 Bill,
All right.
I have an idea for you. A new
What's
live
that?
stream. New live stream every Sunday, driving with Bill. It'd be great. Just drive and chat. At least you can have someone there all the time. While you're there.
Yeah, that way, you see, that way, I guess the authorities can, tune right in when I'm using my cell phone while I'm driving. That's awesome. What a great idea.
Hey, yeah, there you go. And at the end of it, you can go, right, guys, thanks for sitting with me. Bugger off. See you in an hour when I'm going home.
It's about an
So you
hour
guys
drive
today-
for you to go to your dad's house.
You ask me this pretty much every time. No, it's closer to 2 hours.
Oh, it's a
An hour,
2-hour
hour.
drive.
Yeah, well, hour and 50 minutes, I guess.
How long do you stay there for?
Just
I
a
don't know.
day?
It depends. Depends how lazy I feel. Sometimes I fall asleep on his couch and I stay a couple more hours. Yeah, I do. After we'll go. We'll have lunch or late lunch, brunch, whatever. We'll eat. I'll come back and we'll watch a little TV and I'll talk and I'll fall asleep on his couch. It's just a visit, unless there's something to be done, which there's really nothing to be done right now. So.
Bill, it looks like the weather is pleasant there today.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's chilly, but it's for us, But
Well,
I think it was 57 when I left the house.
It's
It was
15
hot
degrees
summer's
here.
day.
Huh?
You're
It's 15, it's 15 degrees here.
You want to see you can see the weather. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Blue skies.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got, I think, 33, 34, something like that.
Yeah.
David was just complaining about snow.
Yeah, we had snow overnight.
Yeah,
It was-
lack of snow, Paul. Lack of snow.
While I was on Bill's show last night.
Yeah, well,
Well,
where I was at the other day, it was actually 41 degrees centigrade. That is.
Yeah. Yeah, Dominic keeps telling us how hot it is.
Yeah. No, I actually had to go up for a search for a shark attack victim with the drone, and it was 41, getting very, very hot outside. I found a spot to put my chair for flying the drone. It was just under a nice bit of shade, which meant that I didn't get I didn't get completely cooked. But I'll tell you what, it makes for a long day when you leave at 2 o'clock in the morning to drive up there to start searching at first light, and then actually you get back at just after 10 o'clock of the night. It doesn't make for a really long day.
Yeah.
So when you do a search like that, obviously you're limited in the distance you can go just because of your battery life. Do you have to keep moving from place to place so that you can search a wider area?
It's counted on what the search objectives are and where, you see, what actually happens with one of these things. They put an X marks the spot on a little computer program, and it will actually take into account the known drift patterns for that area and the wind and prevailing wind and everything. So they can give us a best guess of where the person will end up.
Yeah.
And then we actually we attack that area and we fly the coast around about that area. Luckily, I was on a really high spot, so I had a very good view all the way up and all the way back down the coast for just over 2 kilometers. So And because the Enterprise drone we've actually got's got a beautiful strobe light on the top, you don't lose sight of it.
Mm.
So, yeah, that literally was able to go ahead and cover most of the beach area, all from one location. And what I didn't search with the drone was actually searched by people on foot, which was proper nice. They got all the good beach. I got all the rocks and the bits where you couldn't get into.
Yeah.
The search. But we didn't turn him up. I think the shark actually had a bit more to eat than just a small bite.
Yeah.
Shame. But well, it unfortunately does happen. It's one of those facts of life. You go swimming in their territory, you've got to expect it.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I had that one going before Christmas. We actually had the card that decided to try and see if it could fly off a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I've had the few jobs on. I'm racking up the hours. That's one good thing. I put in 6 hours, 6 hours worth of flying for the shark search. So it's a fair bit of flight time when you look at it. And I've got that means I've actually got over 6 hours worth of lovely video of waves hitting rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just the type of video you want to sit down and watch later.
Yeah. So do they allow you to use the video you've taken for yourself?
No, I'm not allowed to actually give you that bit. As David knows, I actually sent him a picture of the of where we were located. That picture was purposely taken so I'd have something to share. So and kind of had nothing to do with the actual scene itself, etc. It was so there was nothing there that was required to be kept quiet by police. But the search video where we went back and forth and etc. That is actually now subject for the coroner.
Right.
All you need is to get the right apps on your phone. That's all you guys did, I promise.
But yeah, David was lucky enough to go to play find the drone pilot.
Oh, that's a point.
Shut up, Trevor.
No, don't shut up, Trevor. You know how Laura spotted you straight away?
How?
It wasn't through powers of observation. It was through powers of snooping.
Message to you. No, I had these messages up. So I sent what you sent him when you were sat in the picture.
Yeah, I thought
You guys
two
got
people.
my message.
I thought giving it away to one person in the family would actually do it to the other one. But well, that's life. But yeah, that trailer was really a good spot to sit in front of. I had a really nice, comfy chair. I got him to buy me a nice, comfy chair to put in that's in the back of the vehicle all the time. So when we go and do the jobs, I can just sit down and
half an hour.
Concentrate on flying. So yeah, it's one of those things. I purposely took that photograph so that I'd have something that I could share, or because all the other stuff would be the ownership of the police department to go ahead and use in the coroners, to say that we searched the whole area.
pretty wicked rock ones, all the same. Thank you. Let's
Well, you
say-
didn't search the whole area because you didn't search inside the shark, and then you know the shark had him.
And then when it was gone.
Well, I actually asked the police officer for a description of the shark. Yep, that kind, and he couldn't give me one. And I went in and said, "Well, don't you guys, when you're hunting down the offender for a murder, normally have a description of that to give out?" God. But no, this shark, this is the third person he's taken in just on 12 months.
Oh, wow.
He's moving up and down the coast, and he's actually travelled nearly 300 kilometers since his first attack.
Yeah. Is it the same shark?
We think it is. Because all the attacks are fairly well the same bite, but the same type of bite marks, etc. In every single case, these sharks continued not just taking one bite. And yeah, it's
Did they-
there's not that many sharks out in that particular area at the moment. So we think it's one shark going up, they're traveling along the coast, and he's looking for food.
Did they was it witnessed when he made the attack?
Yes, that's how we
Okay.
know. That's how we know
Alright.
it was a shark attack.
Yeah.
That plus his surfboard's got a big hole in it. Well, big chunk taken out.
Yeah, that's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah.
That pretty well points out. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and then one day you're going to catch it. It's going to be a giant-sized goldfish.
No, I can guarantee this one's not a giant-sized goldfish.
A great white, is it?
Yeah, it is it's the largest shark. Some of the estimates place him at least 3 meters long. So he's a decent
He's a big
sized
one.
bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some thought of contacting Steven Spielberg and finding out whether his animated shark was on the loose. Because yeah.
Well,
But
I have some news for you. You're going to need a bigger boat.
well, we actually had 6 boats out there at one stage searching. None of them found it. They sent the big helicopter over to scour the whole area, and they mapped the whole area and didn't sight the shark, and didn't sight any any roots. So yeah, I think it's a case that he's moved on.
Not that.
I'll
He'll
take
be
it.
back.
If you do find it, you will shoot it.
I don't know. I don't know where. You see, great white sharks are on the protected list.
Are they?
So therefore, I don't know how we go. Yeah, it's one of those things. We have to wait and see what the government's got to say about that. Because yeah, they are on the protected list. So therefore, anyone went ahead and that. Oh boy. Must get something done about these tonsils this year. But yeah, it's a case that if he turns up, I think the only way to stop him actually taking people is to actually kill him now. He's got the taste for it.
Yeah.
And he's not one that's just taking a little nibble.
Yeah. when you actually catch him, he's going to be there with your butt going, I know the law, I'm protected, you fuckers.
Yeah. Oh, but no, uh, it's just it's been one of those times of the year that everything kind drone wise, we've had so many calls. It's not funny. Like the before Christmas, there was the missing person up at Penong. Then the Sleaford Bay Whalers Way incident, which was the car that tried to fly, and then then we had another shark attack that was at Elliston, which we got mobilised for, and we got stood down because they found what they needed to find, and then subsequently this shark attack. So yeah, it's been a busy period. The only thing that the media said that there was a few of the locals that actually got video of a shark in the area prior to this guy getting taken, which we don't. I don't know whether to trust the video that we actually saw, whether it was actually taken on this date or prior to it. But yeah, there was definitely a shark up in that area, but he's definitely not there now.
Yeah, he'll be down there somewhere.
If it goes deep, is the water clear enough to still see, or?
Actually, I was quite surprised, and I'm sorry that I can't show you, but show you the video because you'll see how clear the water was. And I'm looking down 3 meters of 3 meters of water, and I can see the seaweed on the bottom. So yeah, it was pristine conditions water. I wouldn't say further out. Yes, it would have been harder to see anything.
So
And
you could actually, Trevor, you could actually see it down 100 feet real clear.
Oh, I flew over the top of the water at 20 meters above the water, and looking down, I could actually see that I could see the bottom of the water quite clearly.
Yeah, what he didn't realize was that was just the shark with a green screen board over the top of him going, "Hey, you can't see me."
No, that he didn't try that trick. But yeah, going, as I said, I've got enough video of that bit of coastline to sit down for 6 hours of constant watching the waves break on the coastline. But well, yesterday they actually found a couple of things washed up that actually belonged to the guy. So, but yeah,
don't want the iPhone.
No, it wasn't the iPhone. It was bit off the surfboard, and they found a couple of other items that the guy was actually carrying. But yeah, it's they've washed up on the beach area that's just around the corner, but could have quite easily been on the rocks and started moving their way around once the wind changed. Because yeah, currents and drifts are they're easy to plot, but the longer the incident's been since the beginning, the more error you actually get.
Yeah.
Like because you can't guarantee the wind actually was at that exact heading, and what other effects are going on. But the one we had early last year, that one they actually gave us a plot, and near enough that where they put X marks the spot was X marks the spot where the body came up. So they're very good once they actually once they put it into their little Jesus computer program and plot it all up.
But her body was never found, so it's possible he escaped. I think that's why she was.
So
Yes.
Bill, when's the South Florida drone meetup?
The first week of April.
Yeah.
First week in April.
Yeah, like the 6th, I think, if I looked right. If I'm not
Lloyd,
mistaken.
are you planning on going there this year, Lloyd?
I think the meet and greet would be like the 5th, and then the 6th is the Saturday, I guess. First Saturday in April.
Well, yeah.
You going, Trevor?
No, I unfortunately I think my jet's down for service that week. Again.
Lloyd, are you going to go?
I'm contemplating it right at the moment. I'm looking at staying at a different hotel because I've got a trip planned in August that is one that I really want to go to, and it's probably the last time I see some of these guys alive, and so.
Well, in your case, Lloyd, who would take care of your dog?
My son will next door.
Okay. Oh, he just lives right next door. That's
yeah, he just lives right next door.
Well, that's handy.
It is. And my other son just lives about 6 blocks away, so he can come by and check on him too. And my grandson, one of my grandsons lives here in town, and he could come by and check on him. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about the dog.
So you got family members that are able to take care of the dog, because I know that Captain Joe was saying that he didn't know what he would do if he with his dogs, you know.
Yeah. If I didn't have them take care of the dogs, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't go, obviously. But I'm looking at the cost involved. I mean, in August, I will be. The cost was negligible for what. Well, one, I get free board and room in August, so. But hey, Bill, by the way, I want to put in, first dibs on that shed of yours you were talking about.
Yeah. Well, I could clean it up. I could wheel out an air conditioner, But,
there you go. Yeah.
I got a portable room-to-room air conditioner.
There you go. Yeah, the shed would work for me.
I'll figure something out for you, Lloyd. I'll see what's cheap.
Yeah, well, I was looking at some hotels last night. There was like a Best Western really had a good price.
Man, it's not bad. It's actually close.
Yeah, and that's what I figured a bit. So I'm thinking, staying at the Best Western. So I'll probably make up my mind sometime this week on whether I'm going or not.
So you're gonna change his shed into like a bunkhouse?
A granny.
Well, turn it into a what do they call those mini homes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny home.
Yeah. Tiny home. That's it. Tiny home. Turn it into a tiny home.
Yeah.
For the price of the hotel that I stayed at last year, I could probably buy a damn tiny home. It was nice. Don't get me wrong, man. It was a very nice room. I probably wouldn't have stayed there except that one of the guys had it reserved and he was going to have to drop it at the last minute because he couldn't make it. And it's like, and Captain Ray asked me, could I take it over? I said, yeah, I can. And I will admit they gave me a good rate on the last 2 days I was there. So.
You're talking about, you stayed at the Hampton Inn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
There
I
with
stayed at the
everybody else.
Hampton. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely more cost effective.
Yeah.
You know, there's a Comfort Inn, there's a Holiday Inn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll check.
I think when we were
But I'll-
looking for Alexis last year, wasn't the Dolphin or something cheap? That was about $80 or $90 a night or something.
Yeah,
Is
it
that
was
the
a fine-
Dolphin? Yeah, that's in Jensen Beach there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't think anything's that cheap this year because of
Spring
homecoming.
break.
Not
Oh.
homecoming.
Spring
Spring
break.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If it was a week later, the prices would probably be 40% lower.
Right. Yeah.
I'll see what I can do for you, Floyd. Figure it
All
out.
right. Yeah.
It's typical. Isn't it? They put the prices up for spring break when they get full of students with no money.
Well, mommy and daddy is giving them the money to go there. You know, it's part of their.
Yes.
It's part of their higher education.
Yes, mummy and daddy give them the money to get them out of their hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's some money. Now, bye.
Just leave me the. Yeah, just leave me the hell alone.
Yeah. No, New Year's Eve, we got a call to our site just out of Broken Hill to do a repair, and so I saw New Year's at the fall over of New Year's Day twice. Once at once on climb out at the Broken Hill Airport, we were climbing out and it just rolled over. Then we popped over the border, which gave us another another run at the hour of midnight. 30 minutes later. So yes, I had two lots of midnight.
Greedy.
Oh, and Kai, the company jet was really nice. Well, but when they said they were getting me a plane to get me up there, because I'm fairly well right across the other half of the state, they said don't worry about how you're going to get there. We've got that all worked out. I thought, okay, there's this piddly little aircraft that's actually going to turn up. All glue that we completely held together by sticky tape type thing to get me there. But no, they sent me a nice Challenger jet. That's what they leased.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So myself and one other from here actually flew up to Broken Hill, and we got the job done in just on two and a half hours. It's the actual transmitter site's just inside the South Australian border, but Broken Hill was the nearest airport we could get to. So traveled back over the border, boarded the aircraft, and had the rollover at midnight on climb out from Broken Hill Airport. So yeah, so I saw the New Year arrive twice.
Cool.
So I'm hoping everyone actually enjoyed their New Year's break.
No. Pack it in.
Yeah.
I've had nothing but bad luck since New Year.
What? Are you having trouble with the 2025 firmware?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I didn't see nothing in the terms and conditions that said that I had to deal with fucking flash floods and ice and snow and seizures and
I
yeah.
warned you. I
Bursts.
warned you that if you didn't get the snow before Christmas or at Christmas, that you were going to get it later, and it was going to be worse.
Yeah, no, it wasn't worse. It's all gone now.
See, I'm not too fussed about the snow. Yeah. What I
Oh.
was fussed about was the fucking knobhead upstairs that thought I got an idea. I'm going to drop a golf ball down the fucking drain, right?
Oh.
Which then got lodged in the freaking pipe and blocked it. So all the water came down and back into my flat. Bastard.
That's really smart. Like,
Mm.
make sure you give him the top marks for dumbness.
You get top marks for some if I get hold of him.
But
Hey,
it's like,
Lloyd, if you're looking for hotels,
Yeah.
try the app Trivago. TRIV.
I think that's UK based only, Mark.
No, because I
No.
used it last
Sure.
year. Up.
Yeah, Trivago is we have that here too.
Oh, all right.
yeah, and we've got it here in Australia as well. So,
Yeah, I'll do that. Bill,
But,
I gotta tell you, I saw a flight. I was looking at flights last night, and I saw this one flight, and I thought, and it was like $1,000. That was almost $1,200 round trip from here out there and back, and return. The flight going there had a 14.5-hour layover in Chicago O'Hare Airport.
And it was $1,200 for that.
Yeah, and if
Well, that 14 hours better come with a happy ending.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly. It's like I looked at that and I'm going, oh my God, why would they send you to Chicago in the first place? From
That's
Tulsa,
north.
it's like I saw that because it said it was like somewhere around 17 hours. I'm going, God, you get on halfway. You could at least get halfway to Australia at that time in that amount of time.
over halfway to Australia, where the Qantas can do it in 23 hours, and that's coming to my state.
Well, I could get I could get to the UK. I could get to the UK in 14.5 hours.
Yeah,
Or in 17.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot less than that, isn't it?
It's about. Did we say it was 9 hours to Florida, something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, but I know. I think Gitchy's only in the air for like an hour or so.
There we go, Trivago.
You mean an hour?
Not an hour, 7 hours.
yeah.
Sorry, I was just looking at something else. Yeah, I think she said she's in the air for about 7 hours.
Yeah, I flew to Hawaii from Philadelphia so many years ago, and it was 10 hours one way, 11 hours back, all the way to Hawaii. So I mean, that's just ridiculous. You can't almost drive here, but you get 3/4 of the way drive.
Get 3/4 of the way there, exactly. Yeah.
Driving. Yeah. No, I wouldn't take that flight. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, I don't think I will. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
it
in case you're
just
on the fence.
yeah. No, I pretty well had. I pretty well decided that one was not in my budget. both time wise and financially. Yeah.
But what were the better flights that you found though? How much were they?
I think I can get out there for like, I saw a fairly decent one as a decent hours, and it was like round trip. It was like, oh, it was less than I paid to go out there this last time. So it was it was right around 590 to 550 to 590 round trip.
Still seems like a lot.
Yeah, it does, but I may even find there was one and I can't remember. There's one I looked at. I think it was like 450. The other thing is I'm trying to fly economy plus because I don't want to fly economy ever again. So
How about
What?
Greyhound?
yeah,
What about the
yeah.
train?
Well, we don't have trains to Tulsa. I'd have to go to Oklahoma City. Yeah, it's not. Trains are not.
No, Greyhound's a bus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Greyhound's
know.
a bus. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, we don't have passenger train service in this part of the
Greyhound is like
country.
They don't have passenger trains full stop in America, do they?
rest.
No,
Yeah.
they have passenger trains and Amtrak is in certain areas, but
Yeah.
Got trains. They just not conveniently located.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
Actually,
Want a train conveniently located to where you need to get to.
it's not quite like the same as us, is it? Where we have
No.
train stations everywhere.
And I could
Mind you,
literally
a lot
walk
of
out the door, 5
A
minutes,
lot of them have been closed.
yeah, 5 minute walk, and I'm at the train station. 2 minute walk, I've got four different bus services.
Mm.
well, you do realize there's a bit of a size difference between our countries, right?
Yeah, slightly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
A little bit.
a little bit, yeah.
Not much.
Mm,
But
Well,
you know,
that
we got
means you
that.
should be able to get more buses in there.
Yeah. Well, we got plenty. No, there's buses, but there's.
oh yeah,
If you want to get here in 3 days, you know.
yeah,
But
exactly.
there's. I mean, we got that new Florida train that runs north to south. That apparently in a couple of years are going to be stopping somewhere near Stewart's. That may be and it goes. I think you can get it from the Orlando airport. But that doesn't help us now. So there you
Yeah.
Mm. No.
take the train to the plane. Take the train. That's what they. New York area, there's plenty of trains and buses. That's where I walk. Depends how crowded it is. That used to be an advertisement on the radio. Take the train to the plane. Take the train to the plane.
It's a magpie. It's meant to be outside. Leave
By
it
trains,
alone.
I think they meant subway.
Don't shout at me. Not coming in. No.
And it was the obsession.
You look at it.
Magpie sat on the fence.
It counts on how you want to arrive in Florida. Do you want to arrive in Florida feeling like you've been sitting down in a chair and back's aching and everything, and you just want to call it quits, or do you want to arrive in luxury and feeling like you're ready for a couple of days of fun? And of course, yeah, buses have that tendency of they're well and truly being uncomfortable after a little while.
No, it's like sitting in a crowded movie theater all the way here.
Yeah.
Well, there's the app on the phone you can go on where you can book a private jet. It probably won't cost much as blooming flying $1,200. I bet you could book a private jet for less than that.
No.
A private jet for $1,200. Yeah, if you're gonna get on it, if you're gonna get on it and get off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Just
Put it this
just
way.
to walk in, look
The
around.
end of the runway. Yeah.
They wouldn't even let you use the bathroom. I mean, you just
no,
walk in, look at it, and walk back off. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the pilot's wages are just over $200 an hour per pilot, and if you're actually looking at a jet, you're going to have two of those. So there's $400 just to start with an hour. Then over and above that, I think they can't start most jets allowed under $2,000. So kind of the minimum they look at for a flight is $2,000 per flight. So yeah,
and that's probably if you're going to pilot it.
when
you can rent it.
yeah, it's a case that they're expensive to run. It's not just the hourly cost, it's what they call cycles. Every time the engine stops and starts, that's known as a cycle, and if they do a short trip, they've still got a cycle. Where if they do a long trip that say lasts 8 hours, that's one cycle. So yeah, it's quite costly, the maintenance for jet engine aircraft, because those spinny things actually cost a lot to actually run, and they don't last that many hours.
You're all forgetting one slight thing, and I need to interject here. Alexis flies planes. You can get staff discount.
Yeah.
Stuff. Well,
That's for mates rates.
She's in the middle of Texas.
They'll pick you up on the way through.
Alexis needs to get a bigger plane for you. I don't know if she's actually changed aircraft. She was actually talking of doing so. But her VTOL...
She still has the Bonanza.
Yeah,
she still has the Bonanza. She still has it.
Yeah, she just spent a fortune putting a new...
She just showed it last night on the stream. Yeah, she just showed it on the stream last night. She just parked it in the hangar, showed a picture of it. So she still has it.
I just go ahead.
The problem with the Bonanza is it is actually a fuel guzzler. It doesn't know how to sip its fuel. It just knows how to guzzle it down. And plus the fact I don't think they're I think they're a 6-seater aircraft. So you're fairly well limited to six seats. You've got to take into account Alexa will be one of those seats.
Alexa.
So there's Alexis, yes, will be one of those seats. So therefore, that's 5 paying passengers that can actually take it. And then, is Alexis actually classified as a commercial pilot in your country?
Nope.
Oh no, she couldn't charge you for.
Matter of fact, she's not even instrument rated. She's just VFR, which is visual flight rating. So yeah, she's at the. I mean, she got a lot of hours, but she's still at the bottom end of our licensing. Yeah,
when you look at it, the instrument rating's not a big problem. Like, if you're going to take off and land in clear conditions with a nice clear run, no problems at all. But you do need that. You do need to be signed off for commercial, which because she wouldn't be able to go ahead, and it's not so much charge for flying the flight. She can't divvy up the fee for the flight amongst people because it's classified as actually charging. Well, it is in this country. They actually had a number of private pilots that were actually going ahead and divvying up amongst mates to go fly to a location, and CASA went ahead and said no, that's a case that you're actually paying for the flight. So yeah, but I'm sure someone that's actually got a bit of brains would actually come up with a way around that. E.g., Alexis, you pay for our accommodation, and no, we'll pay for your accommodation. That you pay for the plane, type thing, or whatever. So you're paying for something different apart from the flight. But no, they had a big thing on it over here, that long back. And Bill, you're not supposed to have clear skies. You're supposed to have rat weather, but it's supposed to be raining and pouring in your country. We can't have you having clear skies.
What's my work?
So, Paul, what's the temperature been like up your way?
It's right now it's 18 degrees.
And that's Fahrenheit, so you're below freezing.
Well below.
Mm.
Yeah, freezing here is 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes, I know. So it's well below freezing. And Lloyd, what's the temperature in your neck of the woods at the moment?
Oh, no, let me check. It's, well, come on, get it brought up here. 46 degrees right now.
Oh, at least you're not freezing.
Yeah, but we're supposed to get down to 21 tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not whether you'd leave the window open. It's
Yeah, definitely not.
It's currently 16.3 C here. And remembering it's early hours of the morning here.
Well, it got up to 14 degrees Celsius here.
It's 3 degrees here.
Got on it. Hey, Google, what's the temperature?
In Fahrenheit.
11 degrees at the moment.
What's that,
kidding?
about 40, 43, 44 degrees, something like that?
It's 3 degrees and rain, and it's gonna go up to 4 degrees at 9 o'clock, and then back down to 3 degrees at 2 o'clock a.m. And then it's gonna snow tomorrow, it says, in the morning.
Yeah, when you're saying 3 and 4 degrees, you got to convert that for us.
Yeah, into centigrade.
About 36.
Now, let's convert it for Florida. Freaking cold.
36, 37, something like that.
It was in the, I think it was 47 overnight here, so it's actually chilly for here. Right now, when I left before I left the house, it was 57. I know that's not particularly cold. I didn't even bring a jacket. So I'm a Floridian, but I'm from up north, so I can deal with it no problem. But
yeah,
still, it's not warm. It's definitely not warm.
Yeah,
you know, but it's pleasant. I can still ride in this weather. You know, you just put some leather on. Of course, I'm not.
Well,
Bill?
poor Dominic's had heat wave conditions for about 3 days. And New South Wales, where Greg Kernett is, he's well and truly had it, and apparently it broke late this afternoon with a big thundersquall went through there. So they're supposed to have a low going through at the moment.
What's Adelaide like right now? Well, you're in Adelaide, aren't you?
No, I'm in Port Lincoln, so I'm west of there. We had the electrical storm come through about 11 o'clock today, and as I said, it's down to 16 at the moment, and we're up to 23 degrees C tomorrow, which you guys are going to do the calculation because I don't have a way of converting it here.
What 23 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit?
Don't close and put the light on.
What is it about?
Echo, what's 23 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit?
23 degrees Celsius is 73.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trevor, your time there's about what, 1 o'clock in the morning right now, or getting close to?
No, 2:51 at the moment.
Oh, really?
2:52.
Okay.
You have the half hour on as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Because it's like 4:25 here.
Now I'm going to look at it.
And it's dark.
Well, Bill, I can.
Yeah, you got to remember we've got daylight savings, and you guys don't have daylight savings.
Right.
No, we have daylight losing.
No, we've still got daylight savings. It's just that we're on Greenwich
We're
Mean
all, yeah,
Time. No,
yeah.
we're on British summertime now.
No, we're
Yeah.
not. We're on Greenwich Mean Time.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, we're on GMT until March.
are you now you're in South Australia, right, Trevor?
Yep.
Okay, so you're yeah. Oh, that's right. I screwed up the hours, so yeah. Because you're during our summertime, you're
fucked up
14 and a half hours difference, but during the winter, you're 16 and a half hours. That's where I screwed up. Okay.
No. Well, to give you
No?
some idea, we're minus 9.5 hours GMT. So we take nine
Oh,
and a half
that's-
hours off of
Yeah,
GMT
so that's
normally, or
15
10 and a half hours during summertime.
What?
15
Yeah.
and a half hours
60,
to
yeah,
Lloyd.
you're six. For me,
Funny.
it's 16 and a half hours. Yeah, because
No, 15 and a half.
And then I've got to re-put it back into.
not according to, because it's
9.5 and 6 is 15 and a half.
well,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
it'll
know.
be-
I'm just looking
But it'll be
at
16
my
and a
damn
half
clock
because
and it said, yeah, it's 16 and a half.
it will be.
Because you
there
guys
will
are
be
on
16.
daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because it's 10:24 in the morning here. So, yeah, I forgot about the I had that reversed on the 14 and a half and the 16 and a half. But yeah, you're 16 and a half because I looked at my fancy clock and I happen to have Adelaide time in there. So,
Yeah.
because that's where my mate Grant, that's where he lives, and so I forgot in the
Yeah,
winter
so-
time we're further apart. Yeah.
Yeah, going at the moment, your show turns up around about our lunch break.
Yeah.
And I say around about the lunch break.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll
7 and 4 is 11. So about 11:30. Let's see. Yeah, 11:30.
Yeah, about
your
11:30.
time.
So is that Grant Mr. S you're talking about? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been mates for. Oh my God! Let's see. Was this 2025? So 26 years. Damn, I didn't realize it'd been that long. Yeah, 26 years putting up with his shit. I mean, being friends. Yeah.
But,
I had to learn a new language when I first started talking to him because, I couldn't understand a damn word he said. Like, are you sure you speak English? Guaranteed watching Crocodile Dundee does not teach you how to understand Australian.
Yeah.
Or the Crocodile Hunter. Either one of those. You just don't learn. In all the years that I have talked to guys from Australia, I can't say that other than when they're joking about something or making fun that I've ever heard the word crikey. I can't say. I've never heard them
Crikey, you're
use.
kidding me.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
That's a
There you
word
go.
that goes back to a long time ago. PG
A
Woodhouse.
long time ago.
We use crikey a lot over here. Crikey and blimey and struth
Yeah.
Right.
and ecky thump.
Yeah,
Core blimey is just a bastardization of God blind me.
Yeah. No, a couple of years ago when I did my remote pilot's license test, we had to prove that we could speak English. We had to be proficient at English.
Right.
And they had ways that you could prove it, etc. And I went ahead and said, yes, I can speak British English, New Zealand English. I sometimes need an interpreter for the American English.
Yeah.
But no, that.
And then did you say, right, I'm going up the apples and pears?
Mm.
Just a ridiculous thing that you had to prove that you could actually speak English.
Yeah, well, when I was going for my degree in English literature and we were writing paper, the teacher says, you can speak Okie in this class all you want, but when it comes to writing paper, I want to see English, proper English. So, because Oklahoma does have a little bit of an accent.
Donald, why do you put a Y in front of Ute?
Why do we put a Y? What'd you say?
Yeah, Donald is put a rooting in the back of the Ute, but he spelled Ute, Y-U-T-E.
Oh, yeah.
That's a subversion for a utility vehicle.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
no,
yeah.
but it's still spelled U-T-E, not Y-U-T-E.
Yeah. And Utes are, I mean,
Young people.
They're
Pick up, basically.
Well, yeah, but they're closer to what well, Bill would know it, like a Ranchero or a
an old SUV. Yeah.
El Camino.
Yeah, El Camino. Yeah, they're very much like the El Camino. They're sort of a pickup car. Like a car.
So is the Ranchero. That was the Ford version.
Yeah, Ranchero. Yeah. I usually think of the El Camino and can't remember the Ranchero, but today that's where my mind was going. It was flipped over backwards for some reason.
Yeah, well, the white car in front of Bill at the moment would be classified as a Ute.
Donald's trying to blame his keyboard because the Y and the U are next to each other.
Well, in front of me is a white vehicle that's a pickup truck, and to the right of it is a Ute, which is silver, by the way.
What we would call, yeah.
Yeah. The Ute. No, that might be a pickup too. Wait a minute. We got to get closer. Yeah, that's a pickup as well. Yeah, we got a lot of trucks here.
Yeah.
So I can fly first class on Southwestern into Orlando. Round trip $678. That's nonstop first class.
Did you say
they
first
supply
class?
the champagne.
Yeah, well, business select is the highest one they got. So
That's nice. Nice big
Yeah.
seats.
yeah. I can even go sub first class for I think it's like $50 less.
Do they supply the champagne for that?
I don't think so. No. And
you get the glass of champagne for the successful takeoff, and a glass of champagne just to toast the pilot good cheers for his good landings about to give you.
Yeah, they're just
Look, Austin, I'm heading up on West Melbourne and Melbourne. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Melbourne, Florida.
Yeah, Melbourne, Florida.
How long is the flight from you to Florida, Lloyd?
If it's nonstop, it's what did they say? 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. We've got a time change halfway in there, so going out there is 2 hours and 30 minutes, but coming back is 3 hours and 5 minutes. I don't know why.
It's that roundabout end of the runway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not air time. That's from the time it taxis.
Right. That's the time of taxis. Yeah, air time is probably, I don't know.
2 hours.
2 hours, yeah, it's probably 2 hours. So
I'd imagine.
And I can stay at the where is it? Oh, here it is. The Days Inn in Wyndham Stewart for $400.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know how close that is to
$400 a night or $400 for 4 nights.
That's
that's $400. That's $400 for $401 altogether at the Days Inn.
What the fuck? Did you see that? Guy crossed over and I would have kept going. He would have hit me. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Are you talking about that one guy up there in front of you?
Right in front of me. This guy right in front.
He was probably live streaming on his phone.
No, he thinks because he's making a left turn. There's a couple of lanes there, and one of them you have to stay in that lane and go back on the highway. So he was in the wrong lane, so he just decided in the middle of the fucking intersection.
Oh, just
cross
to
into
cut.
my
Yeah,
lane.
yeah, yeah.
No, but I mean, he missed the front of my car by about 5 feet, if that. Only
Well, he's
because
in
I
the
slammed my-
right-hand turn lane. He didn't turn right either.
Yeah.
Only because no, not this guy. That's
No.
the guy that's turning right.
No,
right
the
now.
guy
I
that's
should
turning
chase-
right, yeah.
I feel like chasing him right now. I swear to God. What an idiot. You make a mistake like that, you slow down and you go in behind the person. You don't fucking. I'm a pickup truck. That would have really sucked, there, asshole. For you.
Hey, Bill, don't get into that road rage.
Yes,
God.
calm down.
I just There's
I know it
there's
pisses you off. I get it. What bothers me in my town is I've got everybody driving at 5 and 10 miles an hour on a 35-mile-an-hour highway.
I stayed in my lane. You know what I mean?
They're all
I'm not one of those
rubbernecking, you
idiots.
know.
There's idiots that cross lanes in the middle of a turn in an intersection. Idiots.
Uh-huh.
Oh God, that's good. You know what? I got a brand new camera. I got a dash cam going. I'll get maybe I'll show that on my show next set.
There you go.
Florida driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
So
jerk off.
at these prices, and I don't have to fly first class, but I just like the idea of nonstop.
What airline?
Southwest.
Southwest. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So at those prices, I could probably do it. I'll talk to my boys.
So
I'll
it's
talk to my oldest son today and see what he thinks. Because
just over $1,000 in total, which is
yeah,
less,
and I
is
yeah,
less
and I could
than the price of the flight you were looking at in the first place.
yeah, that would have had a 14.5 hour layover. Yeah, for $1,100. I can fly
Yeah.
nonstop and spend 4 nights in a hotel for less money.
Yep.
The Comfort Inn is like halfway in between the meet and greet and the hotel you stayed at.
Okay.
So it's very close, by the way,
You mean
to where everybody's going to be.
well, this is the Days Inn.
Oh, Days Inn. Well, they're all in
Yeah.
the same area.
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah. So
I'll look at it. I'll see. But they're all in the same area. They're all right there.
all right, yeah.
But we'll see. Figure it out. 400 for how many nights?
For 4 nights, coming in on let me look at let's see. Coming in on Thursday the 3rd and leaving out on Monday the 7th. So it's 4 night stay.
You're coming in on Thursday, huh?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I was thinking I was going to volunteer to come drive you, but I'll be working
Yeah.
Thursday.
Right. Well, I could come in on Friday though, because I'll get there early enough in the afternoon. Yeah. Let me figure Friday. That would that might
Unless
work out even better.
the flight's cheaper. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to look at, because it actually might be. I'll look at that because I'm looking at the time. It gets there at 1:30 in the afternoon, so that's I got there on Friday at 1, or well, this one gets there at 1:30. So if I get there around that that would be enough time on Friday for you to be able to come up, pick me up, and take me back. That's in Orlando.
Oh, that's Orlando, right?
Yeah. That's why I was thinking Thursday. If I came in on Thursday, nobody would be rushed to try and get back for the meet and greet on Friday. So.
Yeah. And the other thing is Monday we usually do the boat trip.
Oh, that's right.
So,
all right. All right.
So I don't know, but I don't have to do it.
No.
I don't,
no, that's your thing. Yeah.
Not that many of us. Not that many of us go on it anyway. Huh?
You could say Tuesday instead then.
Yeah, which is what I did last time. I came in on Thursday because Mike Wright was picking me up because he was I don't know, some other town. And so he was able to pick me and Bob Dempsey up and
The only reason someone would tear a
which
crossword
that was
if they were in
trying to get
So why would
Bob Dempsey was sending me pictures of signs that I couldn't see, and you know he was telling me where he's at, and he was completely the opposite direction. And finally, I
Well,
called.
we'll get your ride anyway, even if I can't. You know, we'll definitely get your ride one way or the other.
Okay,
Figure it out.
all right, yeah.
accidentally fell off the edge?
Yeah, because I think the more I think about it, because I mean, in August, that's not a problem. I think I can go. I think for about the same money, it'd be economy plus though. But for about the same money, I can go to Grand Junction, Colorado, which is a lot further. For almost the same amount of money. Difference is I don't have to pay a hotel rate up there.
And there's no decent flights to Palm Beach, I guess. So DBI.
Well, yeah. I think it was there's. Well, let me look. Let me look at West Palm Beach again. Hang on, I'll be right. Yeah.
Palm
Let
Beach.
me. I gotta leave real quick. I'll be right back, and I'll come up with some answers for you. Let me cover that and.
Well, if we miss your flight, I'll just drive you back to Oklahoma.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a long drive for you, Bill.
No, 20
Yeah.
hours or so. Yeah,
Yeah.
each way.
Not gonna. Yeah. Well,
Is the planetary eclipse last night?
And stop by, see Johnny in Louisiana on the way there. You know.
And we made the discovery when he was only 25 back in the early 80s. So a very successful book about it. Highly recommend it.
That way I could road rage for 40 hours round trip.
So,
road rage.
suspects,
No,
Oh.
what you need is one of my company vehicles.
but we're just friends for a long time.
We've got a couple of little bubbles on the top, and that's the thing called a siren.
No blame.
Nobody overtakes you. And they all hold back. They hold back because they don't know. They can't work out whether we're a police vehicle or or what type of vehicle we are. So they don't want to take the chance. So you just cruise along down the road, and nobody bothers you.
Outside of Ponticells.
Which leaves this fella, Sunil Singh, a highly regarded amateur astronomer.
He's an IT administrator in India, but he's on the board of the Astronomical Society there. Not sure what the connection to Professor Sorder is yet.
I can't believe that idiot did that. I mean, like, didn't even speed up enough to miss me.
On that cliff top we have
Yeah.
one of these.
Yeah, 20 hours road rage with you. That would be so much fun, Bill.
Oh yeah. That would definitely be an enjoyable trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Press conference or something.
I don't like
Osceola
taking these.
County. Here we go.
I'm probably going to take
So this way is a little bit longer, like 7 minutes longer, but saves me almost $16 in turnpike fees round trip. So for 14 minutes round trip, I can save $16. And we drive through the country. See the country?
Oh, it's lovely countryside. Yes,
Yes.
it's about as interesting as mine.
Kill more insects.
There's a lot of it. Yeah, there's a lot of swamp too. So yeah, I will have more bugs on the front of my vehicle this way. But it's still a nicer ride. Places to stop at. You don't have to enter and exit the turnpike to do it. If I feel like stopping, which I won't. But yeah, I mean this is okay. You know, you'll see some cows and stuff on this little trip here.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
I had kangaroo.
I have yet to see alligators in the wild since I've been here. 15
Oh.
years. Actually longer. Like, when did I move here? 06? December 06. How long is that? 19 years. I've yet to see them in a while. I mean, once on a trip boat on an airboat ride where they intentionally went looking for them, you know, on a lake. And the best we could do was we saw a couple of 4-footers, and that was it.
It's kind of a month over 18 years.
Yeah, Bill, I could come into West Palm Beach and it wouldn't be much more.
Thank you for correcting me, Mark. I can always count on you.
That's all right, Bill. And
Don't worry, Bill. I can always supply you some kangaroos.
Well,
Like,
that's all.
I-
All right.
I had them at 2 o'clock in the morning the other morning. That there was one that decided to cross the road between me and another vehicle that was up ahead. Like he waited till the other vehicle passed and then decided to cross the road right in front of me. Missed him, and I just got my heart rate back down after that one, and I had another one jump across the road. Yeah, they're a pain in the butt, kangaroos.
The humor I enjoy so much.
You have deer there too, don't you?
No
No deer?
deer.
I guess those are our kangaroos then, because that's what we hit in the road. Well, as far as larger animals are concerned, we hit deer. That's our thing. I'm sorry, Lloyd. What were you saying?
What I'm saying, because I started looking, I'll go the next step down from the business class, because the only difference between the two of them is that I would get a mixed drink. Well, I don't drink anyways, and free Wi-Fi, which
for 2 hours, bit of a waste of time.
yeah, $50. That's $100 I'd save, and I could come into West Palm Beach.
Really?
Yeah.
How long is that trip?
2 hours and 30 minutes. Now the one coming back, I don't know why it's 5 hours, but it's got one stop. Okay, where's the hell does it stop at?
I don't like the stops to be too short either, because then you're just rushing.
Yeah,
To make sure.
yeah. It's got an hour and 35-minute layover, which okay, I could.
No, that's
Holy
perfect.
crap! Yeah, let me go back and get a different, and that's going out on Tuesday.
I've seen them where they tried to set you up with like a 35-minute layover, and you've never been to that airport before. That's stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it's one of these airports where you arrive, you go out of the secure area for the arrivals, and you've actually got to come back through security to get back into the gate you want.
Yeah, that's where it's quite handy being registered blind, because I can actually put in as being disabled and needing assistance, and they will get somebody to meet me at the gate when we get off the plane and take us to where we're supposed to go.
That's just being lazy.
Yeah, I think that's laziness. Absolutely laziness.
You still have to walk. It's just that they show you where to go and help you get.
Well, in your case, Mark, you can't see anyway.
I can see, just I can't read the signs. That's all.
Well, I tried to take legal action.
Where the hell is that at?
That's the definition of a handicap, and you're all right to do that.
Well, that's it. Yeah. And Kate's got.
Oh, dear God.
It's a definition of oh fuck when the sign says danger 20-foot drop.
Yeah.
I was looking on the.
I have a problem with classifying being blind as an advantage. You know, what did you say? It's it's an advantage. It's an advantage being blind. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There are some things that.
There are some perks.
The perks do not outweigh the disadvantage of being blind. No.
No. So, Lloyd, what were you old garden about?
Well, there's one flight here if I want it, because the flights leaving are at like 6:05 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and it's like, yeah, no. So I started looking at times a little bit later, and I saw one here. It's like, there was it was a 12-hour at 11:55 in the morning, and it's a 12-hour and 30-minute trip. It's got one stop, and you change planes in Las Vegas.
Well, that seems
Which
like
is
a gamble.
Oh yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, it sends you all the way. Yeah, no, with
Yeah,
a
can I
4 hour
just
and
jump
45
out the
minute
plane as
layover.
you go over Oklahoma, please?
Yeah, just drop a chute. Hand me the chute, and I'll jump out here. Because that's exactly what I'd be doing, flying right past.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Who the hell designs these flights?
Lloyd, there's a better way around it. As you're getting up towards Oklahoma, you just throw a sickie, start throwing yourself around the plane, going, I need to get off, need to get off. They'll land at Oklahoma to chuck you out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's true. I could do that. Yeah.
Just get your gun out and say, "Fly me to Oklahoma."
Yeah, and never be allowed to fly. Never be allowed
Never
to
be
fly
allowed to
again.
fly again. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming home, you may have to use Bill's offer to drive you.
Well, yeah, because if I pulled something like that, well, I would be sentenced to jail for life because at my age, 10 years would probably be life.
Yeah. Yes.
Holy shit. They don't have a direct flight coming back from Orlando. Oh, well, I don't want Orlando. What the hell am I doing here? Let me start over. Yeah, it's like, let's see.
God only knows.
I picked I did, let's see.
I mean, Orlando is the thing. It's 2 hours.
Well, yeah, but yeah, no, I'm not. No.
What app are you looking on?
Friday. And return date is
Skyscanner
Tuesday.
to look at flight times and places and prices.
Right.
I could talk. Actually, my dad. If you flew into Orlando and I couldn't make it the time to get you, my dad would come pick you up. He only lives like 25 minutes from the airport.
Right.
Yeah. He doesn't mind doing it either. Give him something to do.
Yeah.
He's got his cool I live here back way of getting to the airport. Takes fun, he swears it's faster. It's not, but
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I'm dancing like a loon in my kitchen with Buddy in my hand, trip over the dog, all over, turn around, my husband's got it all on camera. So yeah.
Yeah. It's but this is like 2 stops. What the hell? Where are you stopping at there? Oh, I don't want that flight either. Jesus, 9 hours.
Lloyd, it
I'll
sounds
figure it
like
out.
you're gonna. It sounds like you're getting the full tour of the country.
How can
Yeah,
they
pretty
do
much,
that?
yeah.
It's a 2-hour direct flight.
I know.
So why do you need to stop twice before you get there?
Well, it's just like this.
Yeah.
This one, you fly, you leave Tulsa, and then at 5:45 in the morning, you land in St. Louis, Missouri, and you change planes after a 50-minute layover, and you go from St. Louis then to Nashville with a 4-hour and 15-minute layover. And from Nashville, then you go to West Palm Beach. It's like, that's ridiculous.
Aren't they all going in the wrong direction?
No.
well, maybe because there isn't thousands of people jumping across the country from Tulsa to Palm Beach, Florida every day.
Oh, yeah.
That may have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep looking, but I think it's looking like I'll probably be able to do that. If I stay like at the like at the Days Inn in Wyndham,
Yeah.
Wyndham Stewart. Yeah.
If you go into their offices and say, right, I want a flight to Las Vegas, then from Las Vegas to New York, then from New York down to West Palm Beach, and say, oh, we can't do that. He says, why not? You did last year.
Yeah. Exactly. I just don't like those long layovers. I wouldn't mind a 30-minute, 45-minute layover or something. But yeah. I'll let you know for sure this week, Bill.
All right. Figure something out.
Or sometime
Yeah.
between here and April, anyway.
Yeah. If I'll look at them, see where I'm at, and because I think I could swing it, because as I said, the trip in August, I'll have some more money coming in that I don't have at the moment. So actually, hell yeah, that trip in August will be
Well, if it for a school reunion, that's just one evening, isn't it?
yeah, but
You're going to stay there a couple of days with your son.
Yeah, because I got grandkids I've never met, like 10 of them or more up there. So,
you'd be there a week then.
well, that's why I said, yes, I'm not staying that long. 10 friggin' grandkids? No, I'm not in a hurry to spend a lot of time with them.
Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
All right.
Guys.
Hi, everybody. Hey, drive safe, Bill. We'll see ya. Lloyd, thanks for being here. Mark,
Yeah, appreciate it.
David, and
Yeah,
Trevor.
later.
See all of you
Yep.
later on today. Bye for now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Later,
See you.
everyone. Bye-bye.